going on, 49er Faithful, 49er fam, 49er gang? This is your boy 49er Dion, aka Niner Gang Podcast, back with another video. So definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notifications so I can keep you up to date on any and everything San Francisco 49ers. With that being said, let's get right on into it. Another simulcast right here with you guys on YouTube, right up top on IG. Basically just going through the game picks. So this week I fared out a lot better than any other week. So basically, your boy went 13-3. Okay, I had some crazy picks. I did some crazy things, but this previous week, man, I wound up going 13-3. That was a heck of a roller coaster ride for me. So my current record stands through 3 weeks at 31-16. So I look pretty good. I ain't got too many complaints. I'm doing all right. Currently, man, we're gonna jump right on into week 4. So week 4 has definitely got a couple of a couple of little bangers in there here and there. Let's just go ahead and get right on into it. So the first game we got on the bill is the Bengals versus the Jags. Not much to say about this game. Bengals take the win, and the Jags. Unfortunately for Urban Meyer, he doesn't understand what losing feels like. Don't know if he really, don't know if reality has hit him yet. So, unfortunately, the Jags are headed to 0-4. For Jags fans out there, if y'all take a look at this, I'm so sorry. Y'all just don't look like the team to be able to beat the Bengals this week. I can definitely tell you that right now. So we're going to slide on over to the second game. And this is the big game. Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on, Sharon Roger? What's going on, Salvador HVAC? So this game right here is definitely something that we got to talk about. It's the Seahawks versus the 49ers. This is our second home game. We just lost a heartbreaking, game to the Green Bay Packers. They wound up beating us, with a last-minute drive down the field. And I don't even want to talk about that game anymore because I'm still upset about it. But at the end of the day, we got to move on. It's already in the past. So Seahawks versus 49ers. The Seahawks come in riding a 2-game losing streak, and we come in with the heartbreaking loss to the Packers. The Seahawks have the worst defense in the NFL from a technical standpoint. In both losses, they have given up 30 points or more, and the 49ers currently average 28 points per game. With the 49ers offense being slow starters and Kyle sticking with Jimmy, we cannot afford to lose the lead early. Word is Lockett was limited in practice today, but hasn't been ruled out for the 49ers. We hope to have Mitchell in the backfield, and we just signed Buster Screen. Not sure if Josh Norman will go on Sunday. Definitely not sure if Josh Norman will be able to go on Sunday. Russ is still Russ with 895 yards and 7 passing touchdowns and no INTs. He has taken 8 sacks, though. So this year, again, behind a porous offensive line. So that gives us hope. So, 8 sacks in 3 games, that tells me that he can be had. We can get to him. Russell isn't running like he used to. And that offensive line is definitely not blocking in any way, shape, or form. So it's definitely a bit of an issue for them because it's a little hard for you to be able to block for Russell Wilson when he doesn't, when your line just sucks. And that's just the truth of it, man. Their line has been bad for years, and that's what he's been screaming. Is Aaron Rodgers was screaming, go get me a wide receiver. Russell Wilson is saying, go get me some offensive linemen, bro, because I need help. So yeah, Fred, yeah, don't worry. We're going to get into that, Salvador. But basically, more key points on this game strictly being, let's take a look. So after that, we go into Lockett, Metcalf, and Will Dissly will be the main targets we have to stop on offense. On defense, they still have Bobby Wagner, as well as the 7 sacks they have as a team by several different people. Averages out to about 2 sacks per game. For the 49ers, we have an offense, once again, averaging 28 points, with the main focal points of the offense being the usual suspects, Deebo, Ayuk, and Kittle. With hopes of Mitchell coming back, we may be able to get the running game going. Now, the beauty of this is that We're trying to get the running game going against one of the worst run defenses in the NFL over the past couple of years. The Seahawks have given up over 100 rushing yards in each game. If the line holds up and Mitchell is back, we can have a field day running the ball. Our issue is we start slow and we usually have a hard time with the Seahawks at home or in their house. And I'm just keeping that 100 with y'all because at the end of the day, man, it's frustrating when you're trying to definitely go up and beat a team, but they just seem to consistently have your number. And Russell never makes it easy on us. He always does something crazy to go ahead and make it a serious game. So we're trying our best to be able to make sure that we hold him down and we make sure that things don't get out of hand. But it is Russell Wilson, and the young man has magic in his arm, and he can make it happen at any given moment. Um, so with that being said, um, Bosa has 3 sacks. Kentavious Street has one. Eric Armstead has one. Bosa has been a monster all season, but the D line has been lackluster. So far, we can't even get home to the QB. Now we have a total of 7 sacks, but the issue is there's a lot of pressure on the QB. Just getting home hasn't been our strong point at all. We had a lot of pressure on Rodgers in this last game, but the issue was Rodgers was getting the ball out in 2.5 seconds or less, and at the same time, he ate us up with Davante Adams. Davante Adams had 18 targets. The rest of the receivers on the Green Bay Packers only had 13. And the bulk of those the bulk of those 13 targets went to Allen Lazard and Valdez-Scantling. So it's definitely a little bit frustrating, man. They got a chance to walk down the field pretty much, with those 2 passes to Davante Adams, and Mason Crosby was money. He kicked the field goal. But with this game coming up against the Seahawks, we definitely look to have a little bit of a better time. At the same time, we're still at home. Hopefully the faithful will be there, show up, and they'll be rocking and definitely keeping us energized and hyped up to be able to get the job done. With that being said, we start slow again against Russ. We will get cooked due to us being at home, but I'm going with the Niners here with the slim win, 24-21. So I'm going to say that we pulled this off, but we pulled it off by the skin of our teeth because Jimmy's very inconsistent. He doesn't get the offense moving in the first half. The run game was suspect last week because we started with Juice rather than starting with Trey Sermon. Kyle Shanahan comes out every week and continues to back Jimmy Garoppolo. He says there is no QB competition. There's no reason for anyone to think otherwise. But for us as fans, we're saying, man, look, we need a spark in the offense. The run game can work out perfectly if you just let Trey get in there, man. And we're getting tired of watching Jimmy with his inconsistent ways. And Jimmy kind of threw Kyle under the bus at the press conference today. He said straight up, look, man, I just run the plays that are called, bro. I'm just here trying to earn my 27 million. I'm here to get my game check. So with that being said, like I said, we win this game by the skin of our teeth. Is a very, very, very slim margin. I said we win by 3 or less than 2. But at the end of the day, we still pull off the W just because we're at home. When we go to the Seahawks house, I fully expect us not to be able to pull off that win. So the next game on the list is Washington versus the Falcons. The battle of the offenses that haven't been great and the Washington defense that is great. Giving the edge to the Washington football team in this one, Heineke and McLaurin get going and can't be stopped. Just that's a quick one. That one's real simple. So game 4, Bills versus Texans. No need to dig deep. Bills, easy pick. Lions versus Bears. This game is a tough one. This game is a tough one. The Bears have better defense, but looked horrible on offense last week against the Browns, whose defense feasted on Justin Fields. Nagy is reaffirmed when healthy. Andy Dalton is the starter, but that offense is stagnant and the line is hot garbage. The defense is a little better than what Detroit has to offer. Detroit has scored 17 in their last 2 losses, while the Bears have barely mustered 20 points in a loss and a win, and not counting the beatdown from the Browns, which only netted them 6 points. Gonna give the edge to the Bears in this one. They win, but not by more than 3 points. And the reason I state that is because you don't know who's going to play. You don't know if Andy Dalton's fully healthy and he's going to go, or Justin Fields is going to start. The defense for the Lions is their Achilles heel. They don't look very good. And, they already lost Jeff Okudah, and they don't have many pass rushers. They don't have anything that really scares you when you see them on defense. So that's the reason why I'm going to take the Bears in this one. Next on the list, Game 6, the Panthers versus the Cowboys. This will actually be a good game. Dallas is coming off a win over the division rival Eagles, and Carolina is riding a 3-game win streak. Feels good to be Sam Darnold right now. Nothing to be concerned about with that dude as far as him being with New York. He's happy to be out of there because New York stinks and he's winning. Can't be mad at that. While the Panthers barely slid by the Jets, their last 2 games have been beatdowns of the Saints and the Texans, allowing 7 and 9 points in each game. The Carolina defense seems to have woken up. Also, the offense is moving well, but no CMC hurts. The Cowboys have found a rhythm on offense, and Dak looks like what's on the side of their helmet, a star. Taking the Cowboys in this one to hand the Panthers their first L. So we'll slide on over to the Game 7. It's going to be the Colts and the Dolphins. Pinor, what's going on? Says, if we are a Super Bowl contender, what do you look forward to on our team? I look forward to us at least making the playoffs at a bare minimum. The playoffs are a must this year. We have to get in, whether it be by wild card or whether it be just because we won, the game pretty handily. And that's the issue. If we don't make the playoffs this year and we wind up with a losing season, we got to start asking questions about a certain head coach who seems to be very headstrong and a little egotistical at times. But going to get back to this really quick. Just wanted to answer your question, Pino. I didn't want to be rude, my brother. So the Colts versus Dolphins, this will be a tough one. This will be tough to watch. 2 good defenses in both offenses without their starting QBs. No Carson, no Tua. So we'll see Jacob Eason and Jacoby Brissett at the helm for each team. This will be a defensive battle no matter what. But if I have to go with an offense to win, I'll take the Dolphins to pull out the W. Game 8, Browns versus Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota is coming off a nice win against the Seahawks, and the Browns coming off a beat down the Bears. But this one is easy to call, so I see the Browns winning this one easily with no Cook. Or only him in a limited fashion. They have to rely on Justin Jefferson to take them home, and that won't work. So the Browns are going to win that game. Next up, the Giants and the Saints. Giants are riding a 3-game losing streak and can't get it together on either side of the ball. And the Saints are 2-1 with the stellar defense, but lackluster offense due to the inconsistencies of Mr. Winston. With that being said, still taking the Saints to pull this off. Good Jameis shows up and beats out Daniel Jones. So game 10, we're going to slide over to the Titans versus the Jets. So I love Robert Saleh, I really do, but unfortunately he takes another L. Wilson looked bad behind Zach Wilson looks bad behind that O-line, but looks bad, and behind that O-line he looks even worse. And the Titans proved too much for the Jets defense. It's just unfortunate, man. Like, you just don't see them. You don't see the Jets winning many games, and they're not going to win games against teams that have a serious defense. The Titans have a good defense, and they have an explosive offense. You got way too many weapons for them to contend with. So next game, Chiefs versus the Eagles. This is the game that gets back on track for Mahomes and company. They find their rhythm against the Eagles. Also with the looming signing of the newly reinstated Josh Gordon, they have a feeling they will be on an upward trajectory. So I'm going to take the Chiefs for the dub in that one. So the Cardinals and the Rams, battle of the top 2 NFC best teams. And I say NFC best because that's AKA NFC West, because we are doing well. Hey, what's going on, Fred? Alfred, how you doing, man? So with this one here, man, this will be one to watch. 2 high-powered offenses and defenses battling out for NFC West supremacy. Our whole division can shift dramatically this coming week. with wins and losses. The Cardinals haven't scored less than 31 points in each of their wins, while the Rams have only dipped below 34 points once this year in their wins, and that's against the Colts. Kyler Murray, the mobile QB prototype versus the prototypical pocket, somewhat mobile quarterback in Matthew Stafford. The Rams are riding high right now and doesn't look like they're coming down anytime soon. Going with them to take the win at SoFi. So the next game on the list is going to be the Ravens versus the Broncos. So the Ravens are on a 2-game win streak where they barely squeak by the Lions. And the Broncos are riding a 3-game win streak where they have beaten the worst of the worst, the Jets, the Jags, and the Giants. The Broncos seem confident even with the fact that the teams they beat suck. They aren't doubting themselves. They have a ton of confidence in themselves on offense and defense with info and taking a look at everything. This is the first test for the Broncos, but one they passed, taking Denver for the win. I'm going to take Denver to go ahead and beat the Baltimore Ravens there. What's happening, Matt? Let's see here. Pinor says on YouTube, 34-24 Seahawks win. Russell will exploit our secondary, and tape is proven to limit Bosa, Ford, and Ebukam as absent. Not sure what Armstead will do when Trey starts. I'll take the team more serious. Pinor, I fully agree with you. I'd love to have that happen. But to be honest with you, I think my guys on Real Talk Niner Talk hit it on the head. Unless Jimmy has a god-awful game where he just looks horrible and stinks to join up, we won't unfortunately wind up seeing any kind of Trey Lance at all this year, unless we see him in small fashions like we did where he was on the 1-yard line and in the first game where he threw the quick touchdown. Maybe he gives our offense just a little bit of a spark, and that's what they keep riding. But yeah, I completely understand there, man. I understand. I don't feel like Jimmy's going to take us to the promised land. But unfortunately, we got to ride that train until Kyle decides to come off it, man. All right, so next game on the list here, we're going Steelers versus Packers. So the Steelers are coming off a loss to the Bengals, and the Pack coming off a win against my Niners. Still pissed about that. Don't see the Steelers getting a W here. A-Rod and Tay keep rolling. Packers win. Game 15, the Bucks versus the Pats, the Sunday night showdown of the year. The game everyone wants to see, Belichick versus Brady. Brady has already proven he can win without him since last year's Super Bowl, and Belichick is trying to keep the ball rolling in the right direction with Mac Jones. This will be the battle of the evening. Literally, I do not see this but I do see this going in Brady's favor. The Bucks just have the better overall team. Brady is going to be in Foxborough, the place he built and put on the map, and will be shown love and admiration by all the fans for his 6 championships he brought to the team. Brady wins. Belichick is forced to go to the podium with his Darth Sidious voice and say nothing at all. He will. When I say he says nothing at all, it's because when he talks, it just sounds like he just is completely disinterested with the media. Period. Like they ask him questions, and he's like, "Yeah, that's what happened." So, Bill, how do you think Mac Jones played? I had to look at the tape. Played all right. Like this is literally what Bill Belichick does. It's completely annoying at times. Pretty much all the time, honestly. So, last game of the week, Monday Night Football. This is going to be a beautiful game. It is an interdivision battle. The Chargers versus the Las Vegas Raiders. And this is at SoFi as well. So SoFi finna make themselves a nice little chunk of change. They got some bread coming in there, baby. You know what I'm saying? Because Rams going to pack that stadium. And then next thing you know, it's what is the LBC frijoles? I just got a call to play. Everybody probably got a call to play quarter for the Niners, man. I mean, it's ridiculous. But Raiders versus the Chargers. The Chargers are coming off a nice divisional win against the Chiefs, which I picked, and everybody thought I was crazy, but they pulled the dub off. And the Raiders riding a 3-game win streak with a couple of nail biters and one convincing win over the Steelers. Derek Carr and Justin Herbert will battle it out for AFC West supremacy in an all-out war at SoFi. The stadium should make a ton of money this week. I'm going with the Chargers again. I see them balling out and beating the Raiders, and Asante Samuel Jr. killing any wideout in his way. To me, this is the thing, and I said this earlier, and I'll continue to say it. What's going on, Tommy Huxley? To be 100% honest with you, it's really, really frustrating when you look at a player that you wanted and you see them just shining. I didn't want Aaron Banks. I know everybody was like, oh, we needed O-line depth. Aaron Banks didn't play well enough to replace Daniel Brunskill, and then on top of that, he wound up getting hurt. So he's sitting on IR doing much of nothing. While Asante Samuel Jr. is in L.A. balling out. You know what his daddy did. Why wouldn't you go ahead and pick the kid up? And he was there. So nobody can tell me anything different. He was there when we were about to pick Aaron Banks. But no, we go ahead and pick an O-lineman and ain't done nothing for us. You know, they did ask. He was a super reach. They did ask Kyle in his interview today, what was the status of Jalen Hurd? Now, I know y'all ain't heard me really go on a rant about him, and I'm not about to start one, but I'm just going to say this. Kyle says the same thing. He's just not there yet. If he's just not there yet, why is he still on the squad? It's been 3 years. Is he ever going to be there? I doubt it. I don't think it is. You know, I see us doing this continually. We always pick up these injured-ass players, and we just keep holding their hand along the way and keep letting them go ahead and stay on the team. And we're just going to give it another chance. And you're going to get there eventually. No, you're not. The only person that seems to be looking okay that we did that with is Contavious Street. He looks all right. He's playing the part. He's doing what he can. So Madar Pinor says, my original prediction before the season started was week 8 versus the Bears on Halloween. But now that the run game is eliminated and the teams have 8 in the box, I think Jimmy will screw himself over. I don't know. He may not, man. I'm hoping at least by the bye week we decided to just throw Trey Lance in there. I'd rather lose with a rookie because it's more understandable than to lose with a vet when he should be making mistakes that he's making. And Jimmy G, technically speaking, has only played about 2 years in this football in the NFL, strictly based off of the games that he's actually played. Because most of the time he sat behind Brady. Then when he came in for that one game, he wound up getting injured the second game. And honestly, when Brady wanted to get Jimmy out of there because Bill Belichick wanted to move on from him, the Cleveland Browns have been calling him, begging for Jimmy Garoppolo. They threw the farm and everything, but they just wouldn't move on. So then when they finally got to a point where they said they wanted to move on, they did Jimmy a solid and sent him over to us with Kyle. But it doesn't look like that's really worked out for us because we only have one winning season to show for it, and Kyle is on the wrong side of the ball because you have to start asking questions about him. And it's not that I hate Kyle or I got anything against him. I'm just speaking logically. Like, at the end of the day, bro, like, we can't stay healthy to save our lives. We don't have a quarterback that's going to continually put us in position to win games. Jimmy is definitely very, very inconsistent. These are questions that got to be asked. And you don't waste that kind of draft capital on a quarterback you just want to sit. That just doesn't make sense. Piner says, I predict second half the Cardinals game now. I'm not sure what you mean by that, bro. But at the end of the day, those are my game picks for week 4. And I will be back if I can get myself a Seahawks fan to jump on here with me. We will definitely go ahead and have another show. If not, this will be the final show for the week. I'll probably jump on. I'm going to see if I can talk to my boy Breezy and get on that Sizzling Sundays with Nitty Gritty Niner, show you how I get down with them tequila lime wings, baby. And I use real tequila too. Huh? My wings will get you a little tipsy and how you feeling right when you bite into them. Pioneer says, I truly believe Lance will reignite a fire for our team with his hard work and big playmaking ability. And I wouldn't be shocked if he could win over the 2019 team who still loves Jimmy and Kyle too. Look, the only thing I will say about 2019 is when 2020 came in, we should have kept DeForest Buckner and let our Eric Armstead walk. Buckner was more of a inside hog, and that would have been easier to replace Armstead rather than Buckner. But it is what it is. We can't harp on 2019. We can't live in the past. We in 2021. We 2-1. The season isn't over. As long as we get out of the first quarter of the season 3-1, I'll be perfectly happy. Until then, y'all have yourselves a good night, and I'm out. Peace.